Hi. My name is Brother Occult. With all the power of my word, I would like to present an open letter to the governing body of the Jehovah's Witness. These guys are the smartest guys in the room. The governing body is caught up in their labyrinth of power. They face a paradox that is painfully obvious to the eyes of the world. I have compiled a list of things the governing body must do to keep the racket going. They must continue to run like the fox that has avoided the hounds for 100 years. They must continue to lie about the publishing company's reality, lest the entire pyramid collapse. They must continue to demand absolute obedience to the governing body with the threat of ostracism, loss of family, and shunning. They must not blink in the face of 100 years of failed predictions, faulty doctrines, and fabricated nonsense. They must continue to peddle the publishing company rag and force children to peddle the publishing company rag through coercion, extortion, deception, and outright trickery. They must continue with their business model that avoids all payroll taxes, pension benefits, and filing status as a religion, however bogus. They must continue to inspire fear, guilt, shame, doom-mongering, fire, brimstone, and demand total obedience to the governing body. They must continue with the Wizard of Oz fantasy, that is, the governing body is the know-all, be-all, end-all of all life and must be worshipped. Just like the Pope. Papal infallibility? That's awesome. They must continue to spend the majority of their time on issues of disfellowshipping, as this is the essence of the tyranny. They must continue with the secret society nonsense and downline nonsense in order to avoid chaos in the ranks. They must continue to brainwash people with dozens of silly rules that avoid free thought, creativity, and dumb down the masses. They must continue with their version of stewardship with real estate tax-free flips, as this is the meat and potatoes of their scam. They must maintain cash flow and launder real estate with a religious facade. They must continue to confuse through culture and language barriers as an excellent means of confounding the suckers. They have an awesome thing going. Why stop now? They must continue to flatter people with the nonsense of the only true religion. They must continue to repeat the same tired fallacies that beg the question for 100 years. They must continue to falsely whisper down the lane as they have for 100 years. They must continue to extort and solicit children to peddle their rag. They must continue to hide in their tower or move to Canada because familiarity is boring. People would rather feel good. People want to be entertained. The truth is boring. People want to feel good about believing nonsense. If the publishing company is a giant self-serving court, they must maintain it. They must maintain the psychotic duplicity of doctrine changes. The scam has worked for 100 years. Why change now? They must continue to inspire fear and shame about education and use of the Internet. The Internet is the final battle that will inspire total destruction of the cult. They must continue with the dogma of worshipping the governing body, worshipping the publishing company, and never allow questioning of the grand carpet beggars. They must continue with the iron fist of fear and no questioning the scalawags in the writing department. They must continue the assault on higher education as it is the enemy of the cult. They must keep the downline from growing a brain. They must call themselves faithful and discreet. They are faithful to the rockstar lifestyle. They are discreet like the money changers that Jesus threw out of the temple.